Greetings, family. I am Dr. Timothy Farmer, and I am excited to be here with the one and only Mr. Dave Overs of Oversound Productions. And he is one who has done much work, not only in the Atlanta area as it relates to sound, lighting, and audio, but across the nation, helping churches, nonprofit organizations, and businesses to improve their look both in person and online. So I am grateful that he took the time out of his schedule to connect with me to talk about the project that has taken place here at Hill First Baptist Church in Athens, Georgia, where the Reverend Dr. Allison Henderson Brooks is the senior pastor. Thank you for being here with me today.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
So Dave, tell me about the project that has taken place here, which is underway with upgrading the audio, video, and lighting that you've been working with the church on.
Well, we looked at first an assessment to see where they are and what the needs were. Put together a proposal that I thought was comprehensive as far as the different areas of the ministry, concentrating on streaming because that is really important, and putting forth the best image online because according to what a lot of pastors have seen is that they get more online feedback as well as interaction than they do just inside the four walls. Most people are in the four walls will see or hear something and retain only 10% of it. Whereas if it's streamed and it can be revisited later, they're able to ascertain the content more by seeing it multiple times. So streaming is very important. I think it gets the gospel outside of the four walls.
Sure.
Equivalent or more than just sitting in the pews or the seats in the sanctuary. But what we did, we looked at all of the needs and with the ideal of putting together a microcosm that would work pretty much for the benefit of the church to get a feel of being in the church without being here. We put in 4 cameras that gave them different angles, and that was the key part. There's nothing to me more boring than just a single camera shot and a talking head. People will look and listen, and after a while, their mind goes over. But if you get different angles and cutaways, it also provides the ability for people to interact as part of the sanctuary audience. And then when you have graphics integrated as well, it gives them something that's interacting in their mind. Intellectually, they're comprehending, they're seeing, they're hearing. So that was one of the biggest things that we concentrated on. And then when you have great cameras and you don't have good lighting, you got radio.
You do.
You know what I mean? Without lighting, you got radio, is the old saying. But with lighting, it gives the camera plenty to work with as far as the angles, the dimensions. It also enhances the video where the camera doesn't have to work so hard as far as gaining up so it's bright or gaining down because it's too bright.
Yeah. And even if you're still in the process of upgrading your cameras, and the lighting can compensate for the challenge that might be with cameras.
You'd be surprised how many churches I'd work with where we'll do cameras. Nice high-end HD cameras, but they don't do the lighting. And then when you go to their stream, you're like, ooh, it's so dark. Well, those things go hand in hand, and the tandem impact of each is so important. And then when you have quality audio with it, then it sounds better than just hearing it from iPhone, iPad, or some other sort that is not integrated with your sound, your video, and your lighting. So we looked at all of that. We put up video monitors in the church as well so that the sanctuary can have an ideal of what is going out streaming, but also they can be enhanced with the scriptures or graphics or sermon aids that are put up. And, after a while, when you first get them, people see themselves on camera, they're like, ooh, but after a while they get used to it. And now it's just a part of worship. And it gives people a sense that aren't in the sanctuary where I feel and I see what's going on. And that's enhancement to ministry, I think. So those were the things that we first started out with. And we put in quality equipment because you can go cheaper, but generally you end up paying more.
So you mean we can't go to the Best Buy or to the Walmart?
Well, you can, but I will say Best Buy and Walmart will not come to your church and try to resolve any issues you have. They're selling you boxes.
Or they won't guarantee the work either.
That's correct. They won't install it. They're just going to give it to you, and now it's on you to try to figure out what you're going to do with it. What I try to do is do a full turnkey, and then provide support. You can call me Sunday morning, hopefully not 10 minutes before service starts, which happens a lot.
Sure.
But if we can, I try to provide the support and set it up so that I know how and what I need to give them the information so they can go ahead and move in the direction they need. Now, understand that technology in itself can be intimidating, but the only thing that causes intimidation is lack of knowledge. Once you understand and you get trained and you know, it's like, hey, I'm competent, I'm confident, and then I can go ahead and do the things that are going to give us the best outcome.
So if a church is at a place where they're starting from scratch, they're a blank piece of paper as it relates to where they are and where they want to go, what will you suggest as a media professional that they should start? What should be their step one?
Well, it's what's important to them most times, because, you know, emotion gets involved and that's where the passion and the direction. But what I look at is, what are you deficient the most? If your sound is pitiful, people in the sanctuary are struggling, then I would say that would be your first point of attack, because then you're layering the good sound on top of video. And then if you have video, you have sound, then you also need lighting so that the video camera can present a good image that is going to be now transferred and translated in streaming. So it's really going to depend on the needs of the ministry. Some people have a passion for cameras because what they're looking at is what's streaming. You know, lights, camera, action, but then the sound is suffering. So if you got sound that sounds like a pail full of gravel, then we need to do something about that so that we can enhance it. And trust me, there are a lot of people online that are streaming and you can't understand hardly anything, especially in high praise. It's so distorted.
Sure.
But I address the needs first and go there, because sometimes you can enhance what they already are doing just by eliminating one issue. And then it's like, oh, it's so much better, but it can be even better once you're able to go and address the others.
So an assessment per se, identifying what those challenges are, because to your point, some of them might just be a matter of changing cables.
Correct.
It might just be a matter of making sure that all of the bulbs are working.
Correct.
So very much important. And I appreciate the work that you do to help churches maximize what they already have, even as they expand to go even beyond. So with what you said about sound and sound online and streaming, there's something called the swipe left factor. So as people are watching online, if the visual is good, but they can't understand what's being said, then they're going to either swipe up or swipe left to a ministry whose visual might not be as good, but they can hear much better. So can you speak to the importance of, or a strategy or best practice around maximizing streaming sound from either the vantage point of how you should set it up or some things that you should look out for in that regard?
Well, when it comes to streaming, we first started streaming from an iPhone or iPad, and there's microphones in these phones, but it's picking up more of the neighbors around that phone or iPad, amen, clapping hands, instead of what's being said from the pulpit, because it's not a direct input. So what we do with video systems is take the microphone that's going into a mixer, and then out of that mixer, we go into the video switcher, which now gives you that same quality sound like it's coming out of a speaker in the sanctuary, and then it translates into a quality stream, because the video may be good, but the audio is not. Because I told people before, when during the pandemic especially, I said one of the best cameras out here for streaming is an iPhone, because it had that really nice,
great quality.
So that is great, but it hurts you because you aren't able to get that audio into the camera and then stream that. And then you got the lip syncing thing with that, because you don't have a way of delaying the audio, because it'll get ahead of the video, and that just gives you a poor quality stream.
Sure. Can you speak about production and how important it is to plan before a Sunday morning or before you go live? I watch broadcasts sometimes. There's nothing like the camera being on and the people who are on camera don't know they're on camera. And you see robes being put on, and you see people talking about what they're going to eat for dinner in the choir stand. And sometimes you even hear it. So can you speak to what things can be done to ensure that you have good production? Because you can have good quality, but if, you know, the mother of the church is straightening a wig, then that's not good production. tell us, how can we maximize what that looks like?
Well, one would be procedural first and foremost. You can start streaming, but you can stream a graphic with no audio. And it's just a graphic up, no audio. And then once everybody's got their wig set or got their robe on, then camera people are set, and then you go forward with bringing in the audio with the video image from cameras. But, all preparation for the service doesn't start when service starts. It starts at least a half hour before service. And you want to test everything and check everything. You'd be surprised how many churches will call me Sunday morning. They're about to stream at 10 o'clock and they're calling me at 9:50. I don't have audio. Well, how about 9:30 you call me? How about 9 o'clock you call me? Don't get there when the people get there. You got to get there in pre-production mode, which is to make sure everything is set and the way it should be. But a lot of times that just comes from the leadership of that particular area of ministry, as well as procedurally. This is how we'll do it.
Sure.
Some people will start streaming early because it may take that long for whatever platform they're doing to actually go live. And then they'll put up the little slide starting in 5 minutes, and then 10 minutes later they start streaming.
Sure.
So you have to have some kind of procedural plan to deal with those offsets.
Yeah. And even running software updates, because you'll be surprised how something will malfunction just by virtue of a software update that needs to be updated.
Yeah. And I always say this: turn your auto updates off on your church computers, because you don't know what effect it's going to have.
Can you repeat that? Say that one more time.
Turn your auto updates off on your church computer, because you don't know what effect it's going to have. And then Sunday morning, all of a sudden, it's not able to connect with this one or sync with that one. You want to do that on Monday, not after service. You don't want to do that right before, or have it Saturday night update, and then you come in Sunday. It was working fine on Wednesday at Bible study. Well, that update went in, and you're now got to figure out what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Big mistake.
Big mistake. So from the vantage point of where a church should start, if they're asking themselves the question, if they have to do the project in phases, lighting, video, and audio, if they have to ask themselves, they have to make the decision where to start, what should they think about as they make that decision where we should start? Because of course it's not cookie cutter, and it's not the same answer for every church. Right. So what should they think about, or what should they assess as they make that determination? Even as they employ the services of a professional, what should help them to make that determination?
Well, for instance, in this case, we did multiple things. We did camera runs. We also did the video monitors. So we had those runs, and then we also did lighting. So we had to have DMX and power and all of that. So we ran all three of those at one time. But we worked on different parts of it to completion. What happens is you now cut back on labor, because all those lines, if you had audio included, all those lines would have been ran at the same time, instead of coming back and having labor then added again to run the lines that could have been ran all at one time.
So in a sense, future-proofing your overall plan.
Exactly. Infrastructure is very important. And if you plan on doing these things, it's good to know and not be add to the list as we go, or what a lot of contractors call change orders. Change orders cost. Why? Because it's an afterthought. And so what we try to do is maximize the installation time, which time is money. And then you want to maximize the opportunity to overcome some challenges that you may not see in the initial phase, because it wasn't included in the consideration for future.
Understood. Well, thank you, Brother Dave Overs.
Welcome.
I know we could go on and on and talk all day about AV and how churches can maximize their presence online and their technology. But thank you for the insight and the leadership in this project that you provided. And the best is yet to come. We look forward to doing more projects.
I just want to add one other thing, and this is a caveat that seems to have great effect whenever I speak with churches about technology. There's a right way, there's a wrong way, and there's the church way. We got to get away from
the church way.
And we know we don't want the wrong way.
That's right. That's right. Only the right way.
That's right.
Yes,
That's
sir.
Right.
Yes, sir. Well, to that end, thank you very much. And the best is yet to come.
Amen.
Amen.
All right.
Indeed.